Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, whenever you are seeing this lecture. This is my second lecture on industrial engineering, subject code KME 503, BTech Mechanical Engineering, third year, fifth semester. So we are actually talking about overview of industrial engineering, where we actually read in the last lecture that industrial engineering is all about improvement and design, or improvements of conditions, organizations, process and methods, procedures and products and services. So we have to see to it that we are actually focusing, or we are moving towards the improvements of the system. We are actually working on the improvements. If it is existing system, we'll try to improve the system so that the output is rightly achieved. And if we are designing a system, we have to make sure that the every parameters that are required to change the input to a useful output is the best or the most efficient at that moment of time, right? So this total concept goes with the concept of design and improvements. So today we'll be talking about this production systems, and we'll be taking this forward, the concept that we read in the lecture. So this is overview of industrial engineering. This is my lecture 2, and I am Dr. Pallab Biswas, and you please follow and subscribe to this channel, AKGEC channel, and please follow the lectures, right? So topics I'll be covering today is types of production systems. In the coming classes, we'll be talking about production, concept of productivity measurement, and then we'll take it forward to the next topic of this lecture, right? So if I actually talk about production now, what is a production? Because if we are talking about production systems, it is my duty to understand that what actually production is. So if we see the definition, production is the process of combining various material inputs and immaterial inputs in order to make something for consumption. It is the act of creating an output, a good or service, which has the value and contributes to the utility of individuals. So we have to remember that we'll transform the inputs into some useful outputs, right? So this is very, very important, that production is definitely a process. It's a process. So when it is a process, it is a process of actually combining various inputs and to produce something, some useful outputs for basically consumption, right? So a continuous search for areas of improvement. Then what happens? Like, we want to improvise on the things that we are actually doing. So you have to see to it that we are improvising on the things, and the areas of improvement are to be sorted out, or to be actually taken out. There's a clear understanding of the recent developments in the production system, industrial engineering and management necessary. So we must understand that where are the places where we can improve on the production, right? So to achieve these objectives, the firms need to convert some inputs like men, material, money, energy, information, etc., into useful outputs like finished products and services is in required quantity and quality, right? The transformation of the inputs into pre-specified outputs is achieved through a production process. So production is a process, and we'll be looking into a schematic diagram where we basically see this production process as input-output system, right? So we'll see how the things are used, what are the inputs that we generally use, and then subsequently we'll go to the types of production systems today, right? So this is a typical schematic diagram which basically talks about production systems as inputs and output systems. So we see that this is nothing but input-output system. So if we really see this, we'll understand that we have got the resources like men, machine, technology, finance, data, or the information. So these are the inputs, right? These are the inputs that I have. So this is the input that I have, and then there is departments as internal, customer, TQM concepts are there. So this is a transformation process. This is a transformation process that we are actually doing. So if we really do this, we'll see that So if we really see that we have got the power of men, we have got the machines, we have got the technology, we have got the finance, we have got the materials, we have got the data, and then all things are these inputs to this system, right? If you see this is the inputs. All the inputs comes into the system or the process. So this is a transformation process, and this is what the production is all about. Production is all about this transformation process. It's a process where we actually are transforming the inputs into outputs as goods, information, or services. So these are the outputs that we get here. And these outputs are to be utilized by the customers, right? The outputs are to be utilized by the customers. So if the customers are using it, then there is after sales service also that works out, and the response of the customer is also very important. It comes here. In the internal process, there is a feedback and control system. If the output is not right, it goes back to this place. And then we can again check it out that what the transformation process is there. The improvements can be always done here, the improvements. And if we are designing a new method, so we can also design it. We can design this total transformation process. So this is what the production system is all about. Production system is basically a transformation process that is to be designed, and also the improvements are to be done. If it is existing system, we will go for the improvements. If you are designing a system, we will make sure that the best processes are used so that the inputs are utilized rightly to produce a exact output that we want, right? In terms of goods, services, or information. Right? Thank you. Next, we basically talk about production system. Now, production systems, if I talk about production system, it's a system that is a transformation process, definitely. So, depending on different variety of products and factory to factory, this concept changes, right? So, we'll try to make sure that we understand the types of production systems that are used in the manufacturing mechanical sector, which is basically into products. So we'll be basically focusing on products when I talk about the production system in the case of industrial engineering, right? The production system varies from factory to factory and from product to product. However, one of the most important issues is production value. So the production system, the differentiation of the production system basically depends on the production volume. If the production volume, the amount of products that I want to manufacture, basically defines the type of system that I have to select for that, right? The most common type of production systems are job shop production, batch production, and mass production. Further, a particular type of job situation is project production, right? Similarly, the mass production could be line or flow production and continuous production. We'll discuss each in more details, right? So as of now, we must understand that there are three basic type of production systems, that is job shop production, batch production, and mass production. And then also we should understand that job shop production is again bifurcated into a small different type of production that is called project production, right? And in the mass production, that is again an extension, that is continuous production. So there are three types of production, but few of the books will tell you that there are 4 types of production, there are 5 types of production, but this is not right. The right is only 3 types of production, where the project production comes under job shop production. It's a part of the job shop production, and the continuous flow production or the continuous production, if we really see, is a part of mass production, right? So we'll go to job shop production and see how this job shop production actually works out. So in the job shop production, there is a project production. So when I see the project production, this is many civil engineering projects for construction or material related activities are project production. So whenever we feel that there is a project and a job that has to be done in the site, when it has to be done in the site, then it is a project production, because all the equipments, all the facilities are to be moved to the site. All the equipments are to be moved to the sites to make sure that this project is carried out, right? So it's like in this complex and large manufacturing task is undertaken, generally work is carried out at the site of the work rather than in the factory. So in this case of project production, what happens is the total manpower, the equipments, the materials are to be moved to the project site. And this basically happens in any type of construction projects, any type of shipbuilding activities, military activities, where we have the site where we have to prepare the system in such a way that we can produce things, right? All resources such as tool, materials, labor, etc. reach the site itself. The shipbuilding activity is an example of project production. A fixed position layout is recommended for this variety of production system. So, facility layout is something that we will be talking in the coming lectures. As of now, understand that there is a type of fixed position plant layout which is recommended for this variety of production system, right? So, this is a project production. It is a part of job shop production, right? It is a part of job shop production where a specific work has to be done and all the equipments moves to the site, and it is a project production, right? Now we come to the job shop production. The job shop production system is characterized by the low production volume. It has the following basic characteristics. So, job shop production is a production where we actually talk about a very specialized product, right? A product which is basically a very high variety product where number of operations are very high, the complexity of the product is very high, and the volume is very less. The product volume that we want to prepare is very less. When we talk about project production, the volume is 1. Say, I want to make a ship. So, it will take say 2 years, and then all the equipments will go to that place, and then the things will work out. In job shop production, it is a bit higher, but the production volume is very less. The number of products that I prepare is very less. So in that case, what happens? The specialist machines are used. The skilled laborers are used. The people who work on this job shop production are very, very skilled because they have to produce very specific parts, and the production volume is low, but the variety of the product, the number of operations that you do on the product is basically very high. So, the parts which are into research and design, the aeronautical parts that we basically see, which are specifically designed, these are the products which are basically prepared in job shop production. So, the characteristics are: number one is commonly used to meet a particular customer need. So, it is very specific, and it is also very costly. Always remember, job shop production is very costly because you have to use highly right equipments. We have to use right equipments. We have to use right manpower to prepare these products, and these are specific customer needs, right? Production lot size is generally small. This I've already told that the lot size of the volume of the product is very, very small, right? The product variety is generally very high. Production equipments are mostly general purpose and flexible to meet specific customer order, which varies from time to time. So, we have to make sure that in this type of job shop production, the type of job we prepare are very complex products, right? These are very complex products, and these are to be prepared in a certain amount of time, and also by right type of the manpower or the machiners that we hire in this case is very, very skilled, right? So, it's a costly process, right? So, if I see the job shop production, this diagram is also there. So, highly skilled labor is needed to handle the equipments as variety and the product range are high. So, the range of product can be very high. The variety can be very, very high. So, in this case, what happens if we really see, we have got the same system. So, this is a activity versus time in job shop production, a drawing that we can see here. So, if we see this drawing, we will see that this is the number of operations that is being done here, number of operations here, and this is the time, right? This is the time. So, we have to understand that for this case, what this activity is going on, job shop production activity is going on here. So, this is a single product, right? A product which is needing a setup time, and then a process has to be done in this. Once this is over, this first product is over, then we have a wait time, and then again that setup and process time, then there is again a wait time. So, there is a wait time. So, if I see machine time for one component is summation of setup time plus process time. So, if I see one component, this is one component, always remember, this is one component. So, if I see this one component, we have the setup time and process time. If I talk of this total elapsed time, it is nothing but summation of setup time plus process time plus waiting time. So, if I really see, so if I want to take out the total elapsed time, I have to add all this times, and then you can see this wait has to be also incorporated here. And in the for one component, if I really see, I can see the summation time and the process time. So, there can be processes, all the processes that is done in this, and then the setup time also. For one component, we have got number of setup times, right? So, all the times if we add, then I can get the setup time, the machine time for one component here. So this is a summation of all the setup times and process times. So process times plus setup times, and then there is a wait of in between also, because every machine needs to be set up, and then there is a wait, maybe this machine is working on some other product, so we may have to wait also at times. And then after the job is over, then we can go to this. So there is a process of scheduling also. If you really see, there is a process of scheduling that we do, there is a process planning that we do, so that the things get right. And this is a type of production that needs highly skilled labors, that needs a very specialized machines, and the product variety is very high, product volume is very low, right? A part of this job shop production is definitely project production, right? So this is about job shop production. Then we come to batch production, right? Now batch production, in this batch production what happens, that the batch production is suited for medium volume of the same variety. So the variety is a bit lower, right? The variety is not very high, but they are different products which are to be manufactured from a certain interval of time. So what happens is, batch production suited for medium volume of same variety at particular intervals. The production order is repeated. If I produce say 5 products in batches, I have to repeat this order. The importance of batch production is, in current manufacturing scenario, can be well realized, as according to a study, more than 75 parts manufactured worldwide are in batches of 50 or less. Batch production has the following characteristics, commonly used to meet the repetitive customer orders. So when the customer orders are repeated, so we need to produce this from us in a certain interval of time, right? There is no continuity of that, but we have to prepare or make this products from time to time. In manufacturing, we see now lots of or automobile parts which comes in batches, right? So there is a batch number for that, and then it is not a very specialized or a specific job that is done. That is a machines. We have got jigs and fixtures. We make sure that the batches are produced in a right time. So production lot size is medium and in batches. This may be despite continuous orders from the customers, as part variety is also medium, and therefore switch over from one part to another is essential. So we have to make sure that the transfer is easy, and it is very easy to shift from one batch to the other batch. So there is a point where we can improvise on the production system, right? So batch production is suitable for moderate product variety. Production equipments are general purpose for suitable higher production volume, especially design jigs and fixtures may be used to reduce setup time and increase the production rate. So jigs and fixtures are basically used to reduce the setup time. We have got the specific jigs, and we design the jigs and fixtures so that the production is easy, right? Skill level of the labor in batch production should be reasonably high, but maybe less than compared to job shop production. This is due to relatively less variety and variation. So the variation will be lesser, but we have to make sure that skilled labors are required, but not as skilled as we need in the job shop production, right? So we'll see the schematic diagram for this, and we'll understand how actually things works here in this case. So here what we do is, there is a product which did number of processes, and then that total product is produced. So there it is in a batch. So if I really see this drawing, we see the activity here. This is the activity that is going on same way. There is operations 1 to n that we have to be done, and there is a elapsed time here. So here what happens is, in this case we have got a total process, right? This is a total process for a batch. So this is XM. If I see, this is XM. The number of processes can be done on the product, right? So this is a single product which basically needs all the processes. In the job shop production, we saw one operation and one process. In this, we have got number of operations, and then the processes are to be done in this case, and then there is a number of processes. There is XM. X is number of times, and the machine's M. There is a wait time, there is setup time, there is a process again, right? There is a process. So there is a setup. Yeah. So if I really see, there is a setup. So there is a setup time, there is a process, and there is again a wait time. And in the batches, these are actually we really see these are in the batches. These are batches and this is different batches, right? So there is a wait time between each batch that starts, and then we basically see there is a time and there is a batch size of m, say. So if you really see, there is the machine time for one component. If I talk about one component, then I have to summation of the setup time plus summation of processing time per part and then divided by n. So we need the machine time for one component. The total elapsed time, total setup time, and then summation of processing time per part. So what we see here is, if you really see this format, in this format we produce a batch of products and then we use all the processes. We use all the processes in a single batch. So we have to do that process and then that batch comes out as a product, right? So every batch, in between every batch, there is a waiting time for that. So we have to make sure that the waiting time is not calculated. If you really see, the elapsed time is not calculating the waiting time here, because if the batch is over, the waiting time is not included. So the total elapsed time per batch is total setup time for that batch and the summation of all the processing time per part, right? So all the processing time we basically summation it, and we also use this method to make sure that the time of each batch is basically taken out. So this is about batch production. So I think I am fairly fairly able to clear the concepts of job shop production and batch production in this lecture. And the next lecture we will be talking about mass production and few like insights about this all the total production systems. So this is something that we all must understand, that production systems needs improvements from time to time, and if you are designing a production system, we must do a foolproof job where there is no losses. So if there is a losses in the waiting and if there is a problem in the time management, then that is something that we should look into. And then there are a whole lot of process of line balancing, scheduling, and a whole lot of processes which are being catered in the industrial engineering concepts. So the basic concept that I started this class with is, like, industrial engineering basically talks about design and improvements of conditions, organizations, process parameters, methods, procedures, and production services. So wherever we feel that there is or we can easily quantify the losses that we are catering, and we have to make sure that these losses are to be removed. And this is the objective of industrial engineering as a whole. And I think that's it for today. And I wish all of you a very good time, and I want you to attend my lectures rightly, and see you in the next lecture. Thank you so much. God bless. Jai Hind.